years. Tonight on Primetime, an 81-year-old man is the island's third COVID-related death. Plus, the commanding officer of the USS Teddy Roosevelt pleads for help as the number of confirmed cases rises. And a car crash in Asan last night has left one man dead.
Today and good evening, Guam. Guahusi Chris Barnett. Before we get to the latest on containing COVID, we highlight the island's frontline heroes.
Today, I'm Staff Sergeant Sherry Eclavea with the Guam National Guard. I am proud to serve the people of Guam. You could help us fight this battle. Please stay home.
Again, that was Staff Sergeant Sherry Eclavea with the Guam National Guard. We salute you and everyone on the front lines to keep our island safe. And now we sadly lead our newscast the same as we did last night. Tragic news of another COVID-19 casualty. Governor Lilian Guerrero making the somber announcement of the third coronavirus-related death during her briefing with island media this afternoon.
Yesterday, I told you that Guam must prepare itself for more days of sadness. Unfortunately, one more of Guam's COVID-positive patients passed away at 11:58 this morning. He was 81 years old, admitted to Guam Memorial Hospital on March 26th, and suffered from multiple comorbidities, including diabetes, hypertension, coronary heart disease, and chronic obstructive lung disease. And while these moments have come too quickly, I ask you again to join me in a moment of silence, honoring this man's life, those he loved, and those he left behind. To his family and those who knew him, you have our deepest condolences.
On Tuesday, the governor announced the death of a 79-year-old man while Doring Jesus passed away on Sunday, March 22nd. Well, during today's media briefing, it was also announced that at least 5 Guam Memorial Hospital employees have tested positive for COVID-19, while 3 passengers on quarantine also tested positive for the coronavirus. As of news time, the count of confirmed positive cases stands at 69, with 3 deaths and 7 patients who have recovered. Well, the CNMI officially recorded its first death related to COVID-19. A 70-year-old man who passed away on Monday was confirmed as contracting the virus. On top of that, the CNMI recorded an additional 3 positive cases. This brings the total number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 to 6, which includes the death. The youngest patient is 14 years old. Now, according to a release from the CNMI governor's office, some of the cases have come into contact with those who have a travel history from a COVID-infected jurisdiction, while other cases have no travel history. CNMI governor's spokesman Kevin Bautista says they'll continue to prioritize the containment of the spread of COVID-19 through isolation, contact tracing, and advising everyone to stay home. Meanwhile, effective April 6th through April 30th, United Airlines will be suspending flights between CNMI and Guam at the request of CNMI Governor Ralph Torres. The last flight between the islands will be this Sunday. Well, the Navy confirms plans to quarantine thousands of sailors from the USS Theodore Roosevelt at 2 Mon hotels. Now, the plan, made in coordination with the governor's office, is meant to hold off the growing spread of COVID-19 among the crew. Nestor Lecanto has more in this report.
It was a sobering letter for help by Commanding Officer Captain Brett Crozier that highlighted the carrier Roosevelt's plight. Crozier urging the evacuation of the ship, saying while they are willing to take certain risks in combat, quote, "We are not at war and therefore cannot allow a single sailor to perish as a result of this pandemic unnecessarily." U.S. Pacific Fleet Commander Admiral John Aquilino held a news briefing in response.
I think his disagreement or his concern is associated with the pace that we get sailors off, not that we're not going to get sailors off. I just want to be very clear that we will have to leave sailors, some number of sailors on that ship as we go through testing, quarantine, and isolation.
Captain Crozier warned that the onboard environment itself was conducive to the spread of the virus. And so Admiral Aquilino says they've devised a flow plan for systematic evacuation.
That rotational process to take them off, ensure they're isolated and quarantined, through 14 days restricted movement, a follow-on test, That is the best way, and as I understand it, the most accurate way to validate that a sailor does not have the disease.
The plan includes moving sailors with negative tests to quarantine at Tumon hotels.
We're utilizing those assets that we have, while at the same time we are working towards providing better capability, specifically working through the governor of Guam to potentially identify some hotels that could meet the need.
The Navy has yet to confirm how many sailors have tested positive, though Admiral Aquilino says none have been hospitalized. He also mentioned several times during the briefing that the ship would keep on board enough personnel to remain operational, and also repeated a word of caution, apparently aimed at any would-be aggressors against the U.S., that this warship will be ready.
If that ship needed to respond to crisis today, we would respond.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Meanwhile, Joint Regent Marianas Commander Rear Admiral John Manoni appeared at the governor's press briefing today and answered questions about the Theodore Roosevelt evacuation.
Admiral Manoni confirmed that the ship evacuees will be housed both on base and in Tumon, though he couldn't say when the transfer to hotels will begin, nor how many sailors will be moved at a time.
We're developing that plan right now, but it's going to be in manageable groups, and they'll be transported and controlled by military personnel only.
He says a strict no-contact policy will be enforced by a contingent of local sailors and Marines who will act as a buffer between quarantined sailors and hotel staff.
So the staff will be working in the background, running the hotel. Any interactions with the sailors that are housed in these hotels will be appropriate in accordance with CDC guidelines, but it'll be military to military and not military sailors to staff of the hotels.
The Admiral also said help is on the way from a Marine medical contingent.
We will have approximately 40 professionals from the 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force Medical Battalion arriving on island within the next 24 to 48 hours. Those folks are not only here to help the sailors on Theodore Roosevelt, but also to help build capacity at Naval Hospital and then backstop capacity within Guam.
The Navy has declined to release how many sailors have tested positive so far. The national media puts the number at well over 100, but the Admiral says all of them are isolated on base, and he offered this reassurance to the civilian population who may be worried about infection.
No one is allowed off the base unless they've been tested negative for COVID-19. The second reassurance that I can give you is that these sailors will be under the direct supervision of U.S. naval personnel, both potentially naval security forces, Marine security forces, and then potentially local security forces to ensure that they comply with the mandatory 14-day quarantine period.
Governor Leon Guerrero acknowledged that she has been in discussions with the Admiral over the last 2 days, and she did not take the decision lightly to allow the off-base quarantine.
We have an interest in protecting our community and stopping the spread of COVID-19 just as much as the military has an obligation to return the USS Roosevelt to the open ocean to protect Guam and the region. I know there will be a small chorus of cynics who will oppose this decision, but now is not the time for us versus them. While there are sailors on board that ship from every corner of the nation, some of those sailors call Guam home.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Christy Marie Cruz, a Chamorro nurse living in upstate New York, is COVID-19 positive, a frontline healthcare worker. She shared her story this morning on containing COVID.
I'm a nurse. I got it from work. We have been testing people since it started coming our direction, and just so happened that one of the patients got it. The scary part is that everybody has different symptoms. Some people have some people have none. And when all the employees on my floor started getting it, I got tested to be on the safe side, and then I was considered positive, and literally that day was when my symptoms started.
Christy Marie Cruz shares with KUAM's Containing COVID her story. Cruz, a Chamorro originally from Anigua, is now a nurse in upstate New York. She's currently in home isolation, COVID-19 positive. when updating her Facebook friends and family about her fight with the virus. Cruz telling us she runs several times a week and is a regular at the gym. She describes herself as very healthy, and she told us that's probably why she's been able to battle the virus from home.
They kind of only tell you to look for a fever, a cough, and a tightness in your chest, but I had more than that. Mine was more so the body aches. I can't smell anything. I can't taste anything. But I think the worst of mine would be the fever, the body aches, and the cold sweats at night.
We asked Christy if she had any advice for her friends and family on Guam.
Stay calm. It is scary, but prevention and being prepared is the number one key to getting through this. Be on the same page with each of and everybody that you live with, your family, your friends. Make a plan, have a designated room for whomever is sick, discuss who touches what, who doesn't touch anything. Kids stay away, elderly stay away.
Cruz also advises residents to do the little things like gassing their cars and stocking up on medicines. She says, prepare now so that you don't have to leave your house unnecessarily when the COVID-19 crisis gets worse. Meanwhile, a pregnant woman with COVID-19 symptoms was rushed to the Guam Memorial Hospital, where Administrator Lillian Posadas says preparations are being made to receive her newborn.
Yes, that is true. We do have that female individual. We have processed her as a POI based on the symptoms that the individual reported to the doctor, and we are treating her. We are keeping her in an isolation area, and we're also preparing the OB nursery right now to receive the newborn in an incubated, contained incubator to then again minimize exposure. But and so that's what we're doing right now.
Discussions in the meantime continue to move the maternal child health patients out of GMH to the COVID-free Guam Regional Medical City. Posada says, however, moving adult patients out of the hospital is more of a priority.
We do transfer the adult individuals and patients from the ICU and even from the telemetry unit whenever GRMC is available and ready to receive. So on a daily basis, we move 1 or 2 patients. In terms of the transferring of the maternal child health patients, that's kind of like on the bottom of the priority, because remember the statistics are showing us that the adult individuals with comorbidities are more at a greater risk. So that's what we're doing first.
A group called Concerned Mothers of Guam sent a petition to the governor urging her to move the pregnant moms and babies out of GMH. More than 2,000 have already signed a petition pleading with the Magahaga to do so. Well, the governor says the proof is in the positives. Quarantine is working, as the public health director has her day in court asking to quarantine travelers even longer. KUAM's Adriana Cotera reports.
There are 2 quarantine sites. There are 221 passengers in quarantine sites, 138 rooms occupied, and there are 360 rooms available.
3 of the 221 passengers from the quarantine sites tested positive for COVID-19. This afternoon, during Adaloop's daily press briefing, epidemiologist Dr. Ann Pabutsky made the announcement in Guam's public health case report. In regards to these 3 particular confirmed cases, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero says this points to the fact the mandatory quarantine is successful.
Because if we didn't have the quarantine, you can imagine those 3 positive people out there contacting other people and possibly transmitting. So I just wanted to say that even the people that are in the quarantine now are saying that they were very appreciative and very grateful that they are also helping with protecting the community.
At the same hour today, Department of Public Health and Social Services Director Linda Denorsi appeared before Superior Court Judge Elise Iriarte on her request to extend the involuntary isolation for the 40 passengers that arrived from Manila on March 19th. As we've reported, the 40 travelers from the Philippines did not agree to complete the quarantine process and were never informed prior to traveling into Guam. Earlier this week, Denorsi told KUAM the petition allows her to continue the mandatory quarantine because, quote, they pose a threat to health, safety, and welfare, end quote, with multiple COVID-19 positive patients coming from the Philippines. Donorsey calling the Philippines a hotspot. And it was a nearly 2-hour-long hearing with Attorney General Liban Camacho and Deputy Attorney General Shannon Titano present with Donorsey. Representing the Office of the Public Defender was Attorney John Morrison. Arguments were heard from all parties, and the court is taking the matter under advisement. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Well, stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens, it's a beautiful day. We rely on the people we trust, it's a beautiful, who we can always count on. And to the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on Calvo's Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need wherever you are. Calvo's Select Care, health care that's always there for you.
It's a celebration at Cars Plus Guam. During our Jeep celebration event, receive up to $2,000 off on the all-new 2020 Jeep Gladiator, the most capable off-road mid-size pickup truck. Customize your Gladiator the way you want it. Call 477-7807 or visit our website and get pre-approved online at carsplusguam.com today.
Ruby Tuesday Guam is still preparing the dishes you love for either curbside carryout or delivery. Call them at 647-7828 or 647-7829 for curbside carryout service with a smile. For delivery, download the free Grab and Grub app and follow the instructions to get Ruby Tuesdays delivered to your door. Stay safe and healthy, Guam.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. Department of Revenue and Taxation Director Daphne Shimizu and her staff are working to make sure Guam taxpayers get their checks from the U.S. Treasury as part of the CARES Relief Act. Couples earning up to $150,000 a year will receive $2,400. Individuals earning up to $75,000 will receive $1,200 for both categories. It's also $500 per child.
If you've already filed your 2019 or 2018 tax returns, there's really nothing additional that you have to do. Your data is already in our taxpayer database at Rev and Tax.
Don't expect the checks to be in the mail anytime soon, though. It could take over 3 weeks because the U.S. Treasury will first have to report to the U.S. Congress within a 3-week time frame on how it plans to implement the stimulus program. You can listen to Shimizu's interview in its entirety immediately following our primetime broadcast. Well, the island recorded its 6th traffic-related fatality last night just before 9:30 p.m. Tuesday evening. Units from the Guam Fire Department responded to a motor vehicle that had crashed into a concrete power pole northbound on Route 1 near the former Harley-Davidson in Assen. Preliminary reports indicate the Mitsubishi Outlander was traveling eastbound when the operator lost control. Now, according to Guam Fire spokesman Kevin Riley, the driver, a male possibly in his early 30s, was pulseless and breathless at the scene and was transported to Naval Hospital with CPR being conducted by medics. He was later pronounced deceased by attending physicians. A second male occupant was transported to GMH for his injuries. An investigation is ongoing to determine if speed, alcohol, or drugs were factors in the crash. Well, we did it with war claims. We can do it with COVID-19 federal assistance. That's the message from Vice Speaker Talina Nelson, who says the people of Guam can't just follow the governor's advice and, quote, hang in there and wait weeks for federal assistance. Senator Nelson saying GovGuam fronted war claims with local cash because federal reimbursements were a reality, with the Vice Speaker saying the same should be done to help those who need help now.
People are hurting, and I just don't understand the reasoning on waiting any longer. You know, I mean, people have bills to pay. Yes, I understand that banks are deferring, the government is deferring, but I mean, people struggle paycheck to paycheck. That's a reality that we face, and I don't know. Waiting 3 weeks for a package to come in doesn't feel comfortable for me. I don't like one bit of it. I think that, you know, our government, we can supplement this until the federal money comes in.
The governor advised those struggling with lost jobs, furloughs, and hours reductions to apply for food stamps and other federally funded public assistance programs. However, Public Health Director Linda DeNorsi said emergency benefits tied to a federal major disaster declaration for Guam are still in the works. Meanwhile, Vice Speaker Nelson said she was disappointed at Speaker Tina Munoz-Barnes' decision to postpone session indefinitely. Nelson said there were several bills dealing directly with COVID-19 relief, including measures that would lower the business privilege tax, the liquid fuel tax, and her bill that would ensure hazardous pay for workers providing essential goods and critical services during this pandemic. Nelson said she's going to fight for session to be held.
I continue to advocate for a session. I think I've become a thorn in the speaker's side. But no, of course, absolutely. I'm still going to advocate for that, but I'm not going to do it in a divisive manner where we come out attacking one another.
Should be noted, in lieu of session, Speaker Barnes has invited senators to sit in on a conference call with federal entities on Thursday. Well, should schools shut down for the remainder of the year? That was one of the proposals under discussion Tuesday between GDOE and parent-teacher organization leaders as the COVID-19 crisis continues. GDOE Deputy Superintendent Joe Sanchez provides KUAM's Adriana Cotero with a breakdown.
Public schools have yet to make a decision on whether or not the school year will come to an early end, although they have shared a proposal with the parent-teacher organization should the closure extend past April 13th. Guam Department of Education Deputy Superintendent Joe Sanchez.
We didn't entertain whether or not we should close. We just entertained the question of what would happen if we did.
According to Sanchez, should that be the case, then there would be a change in the grading policy. For kindergarten to 8th grade students, their existing third quarter grades will stand for the year. As for high school students,
the proposal that we have is third quarter grade will stand as their semester grade. But if a student is failing a class, we believe we should give them the benefit of the doubt, and they will get a 60. They will get a blanket 60. So at the very least, we would give them the credit for that particular class. Now, in addition to that, with the third quarter grade, for students who are taking AP classes or honors classes, we would give them the additional 10%. So what happens in a regular honors or AP class is whatever grade you get 10% added to that because it's an honors class.
In regards to service learning hours, GDOE said they would have to place a request with Guam leaders for the requirement to be waived for graduating seniors. Sanchez adds that if the school year does come to an end, then there most likely will not be a graduation ceremony. GDOE plans to bring this proposal forward to the Guam Education Board for consideration. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Tuesday, GDOE launched their distance learning website for children and parents to continue academics at home. Now, next week, educators will have weekly lesson plans for their students, although Sanchez says the lessons are not graded and are for enrichment during this period of time. You can access the site on gdoe.net. Well, sports is next with Dave Delgado. Keep it here.
Hafaday, I'm Bernie Valencia with Matson. Our local Matson team understands that these are very trying times for everyone. Matson's top priority, like yours, is to keep our families safe and healthy and ensure you have what you need. We'd like to give you peace of mind that Matson's service continues on schedule and uninterrupted. Matson is committed to our weekly service from the United States West Coast to Honolulu into Guam and Saipan. We are working with the Port Authority of Guam and providing the capacity and services our customers need so they can continue to meet your needs. Matson will take all appropriate measures to ensure continuity of service into Guam and Saipan. When we work together to take care of our family and neighbors, we will emerge from this as a stronger island community.
This public service announcement was brought to you by the Port Authority of Guam, KUAM Communications, and Matson.
Just wash it later, bro. Or ask your mommy to do it for you since you still live at home.
Yeah. I don't even know how to do my own laundry.
It's a celebration at Cars Plus Guam. During our Jeep celebration event, receive up to $2,000 off on the all-new 2020 Jeep Gladiator, the most capable off-road mid-size pickup truck. Customize your Gladiator the way you want it. Call 477-7807 or visit our website and get pre-approved online at carsplusguam.com today.
My family is on whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume.
Since we installed the Docomo whole home Wi-Fi, what did you guys notice about it?
When you pull up the driveway, it automatically connects, and I don't have to get out of my car right away and come upstairs to go on my phone.
My favorite thing is that it doesn't buffer when I'm watching YouTube.
My favorite thing is that when Addie calls now, there's no lag. Like before, it used to be where I couldn't see her sometimes and I have to hang up and then call her back, and now I don't have to do that.
You know what's a good thing too is that when you come over to visit, I could give you your own password. I can assign a time limit so that I can say that you can only be on it for 1 hour, so that means you won't get in trouble from your mom.
And then you can go home.
The thing that I love the most is that I can freeze the internet for periods of time so that we can enjoy dinner time like this. Why are you rolling your eyes? So I'll turn it back on after dinner. Whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume. Docomo Pacific, better together.
Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. Tonight on the show, we're going to hear from local surfer Irie Fitzgerald, who's out in Hawaii, turning heads and qualifying for the Hawaii State Championships. Check it out.
Guam has prepared me for a lot of situations. Guam is mostly reef break, and a lot of competition here is beach break, so I really have to work on that. Most of the competition here is on beach break, and most of the girls here, of course, live here and trained on this type of wave their whole life. So that is one of the areas that I need to work on. But other than that, training, I've been training every day on beach break, learning new techniques and maneuvers that work better on these type of waves.
Irie spent the winter competing in Hawaii. She entered 4 Hawaiian Surf Association events, medaling in the top 3 multiple times. Irie says she's been trying out different types of boards that will help with the beach breaks. She adds that Guam waves are up to par with some of the biggest waves out in the 808. Consistency is key, and the competition is deep when surfers are trying to catch waves.
It's very crowded here, and I need to learn more on being aggressive in the water to get waves. I definitely miss surfing with aunties and uncles back in Guam, but it's definitely taught me a lot of things.
Fitzgerald placed in enough events and earned a high enough ranking to punch her ticket into the prestigious Hawaii State Championships. Irie ranks within the top 6 of her age group and qualified for the Junior Challenge bracket for the top female surfers under 18.
I got selected for the Hawaiian State Championships, which is the top 6 surfers in Hawaii that get to enter. But sadly, this coronavirus has postponed the competition, so I'm still waiting on that.
She's on pace to graduate early and was also active with women's rights that led to positive law changes for women surfing. Resolution 20-12 passed, resulting in future women's events. to be held at Bonsai Pipeline and other North Shore locations. She, like other athletes around the world, remain active, train at home, and keep a positive attitude.
Coronavirus, even though it is preventing me from doing a lot of things, I still can train indoors in my house, staying safe, just making sure no one panics, and use hand sanitizer, also use a mask, and stay 6 feet away from people. That's like the top 3 things.
Residents can also follow Irie on Instagram at IrieFitz. That's IrieFitz on Instagram to stay updated with her surfing career.
Try double filet sandwich for double the flavor. Just in time for Lent for a limited time. Served all day.
Guam is truly a majestic place with its sheer natural beauty, wealth of beaches, and culturally rich landscape. Unfortunately, Guam has a real problem with unwanted invasive species. Help us in preventing their introduction and spread. The coconut rhinoceros beetle, the little fire ant, the African snail, Siam weed. These are just a few of the numerous invasives on Guam. Follow proper custom procedures when bringing plants and animals into Guam.
Help protect Guam. Tell your family and friends about invasive species.
To report invasive species, call 475-PEST.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Just wash it later, bro. Ask your mommy to do it for you since you still live at home.
Yeah. I don't even know how to do my own laundry.
And before we close out the news tonight, you know the deal. It's our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
It is the first day of the 4th month of the year, April Fool's Day technically, but there are no fools in today's birthday shoutouts. Each one of these people is special, and they are very, very cool. So, happy birthday to Trayton Dre Cruz from your friends and family. Also, Kayliana Lynn Rose. Happy birthday, baby girl. Enjoy your special day. Much love from Utah and the Agania Springs family. Awesome. Nova Ray Macias. Happy birthday number 3 to you. Love your family. Also, happy birthday number 4 to King Raymond from your adoring family. And happy birthday number 7, lucky number 7, to Jordan Quintanilla. Love Nana and his Barnett cousins. Also happy birthday number 20 to Jeremy Uggan. This comes from Mom, Zuria, Laika, Grandma, Papa, and the family. Also happy birthday from all of us at KUAM to a very dear friend of ours, the lovely Joyce Crisostomo. And to Joyce, we hope you have a fantastic birthday. Also, happy birthday to Isaiah Mendiola, who celebrates birthday number 6 today, and your family is sending all of their love and a big, big smile. Also, happy belated birthday wishes, because born on the 31st of March is Shania Roberta Tatautal. It is Shania Roberta's 14th birthday, so happy birthday, Shy Shy, and many more blessed years, with so much love from Mommy, Daddy, and the siblings. Also, happy birthday to Rose Torres, who was born yesterday. Happy belated birthday, Mom. Love your son. April Uggan was born on March 31st. That's a great name to be born on March 31st. Happy belated birthday, April, from Guam's fastest dad. and Keone and Kealani. Born on the 30th, happy belated birthday to the two of you also loved from Guam's fastest dad. We hope each and every one of you have the best birthday.
And remember, you can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. Now, please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date. Well, that's going to do it for us here on Primetime. Thanks for watching. Good night and stay home.